Spotlight on Service is sponsored by Otco Home Appliances. Luxury lives here.
We're celebrating our nation's 250th birthday by honoring everyday Americans. We call it Red, White, and You.
It is the perfect way to honor veterans in the St. Louis area who have served their country. Steve Savard joins us now with tonight's Spotlight on Service.
His name is Oscar Masters, and man, did I enjoy sitting down and talking with him and hearing his history of World War II. 101-year-old Jefferson County native Oscar Masters was among the very few pilots who trained to drop the atomic bombs on Japan in August 1945. Two of the most consequential events of the 20th century. 3 years earlier, at age 17, with required parental permission, Oscar enlisted in the Army Air Corps. He knew exactly how he wanted to contribute in World War II. He wanted to fly.
At 18, you would have got drafted, and I didn't want to get to walk. I wanted to fly, so I had to get some signatures to go in at 17, and I had to qualify first.
After passing all required testing, Oscar began training as a co-pilot on B-17 bombers, which were known for their rugged construction, not their comfort.
Very cold. I wore 5 or 6 sets of wool pants, shirts, and then I don't know if you ever seen that big thick sheep line, and boots and big mittens.
Yes.
It was always 40, 50, 60 below zero, no heat. I swore if I ever got out of here, I was going to the Bahamas where it was hot always.
While the B-17 was a staple in the European theater, the B-29 Super Fortress was rolled out in 1943 as a better option for longer missions over the Pacific and a better option for crew members who had critical duties to perform.
It's like sitting in the living room. It was the first pressurized plane. It was warm, comfortable, and it was high living.
The B-29 would become the bomber of choice to deliver the 2 atomic bombs that induced Japan to surrender. Oscar was among the pilots chosen to train for those missions, but was not told anything about the nature of the weapon that would be used. But he knew he was training for a consequential mission.
Normally when you make a bombing run, you turn downwind and get out as fast as you can. On this particular training, we were turning upwind, and we couldn't ever understand why we were turning upwind. So about 10 o'clock in the morning, they come down, we called us all in our main theater and said, well, we're going to announce to the world at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, and everybody said, what the heck was that? We knew we was on something, we had to know what it was. But when we saw the results of the mushroom cloud, we know why we turned upwind. We didn't want to fly into that.
The decision by President Truman to use nuclear warfare has been debated for decades, but Oscar is not among the second guessers.
We gave them a lot of notice. They didn't give us any for Pearl Harbor. So I don't regret what Truman did. It ended it. It saved a lot of lives, because if we would have had to invade Japan, hard telling how many casualties we would have had in that Pacific.
After returning to the St. Louis area after the war, Oscar and his wife Adele raised 2 daughters. By the way, Oscar's longevity tip, if you're wondering, he is 101, is to keep moving. He says he doesn't believe in sitting around and doing nothing. And oh, by the way, he insisted that I mention his favorite hangout spot, Santino's Cigar and Cocktails in Imperial. So there you go. And a thank you to the folks at Cedarhurst Senior Living and Arnold for their assistance with this story. What a treat it was to sit down with Oscar.
What history right there.
He's telling you about the one of the most consequential events in Western civilization history.
Yeah, it's like being an eyewitness to history of a man who was there.
80 years ago, and he recounts it like it was last month.
So glad you were able to talk to him.
It was a privilege.
Thanks,
All
Steve.
right.